Hey children, I just wanted to go over this math review work with you. Let's start with our first question, our place value question. To solve the problem, I just label the top of each digit with its place value, and then I wrote out the place value for each one. So the 2, 200,000, the 7, 70,000. The 0 doesn't have a value there, so I'm not adding it. The 2, 200, because it's in the hundreds place, and the 4 is 40 because it's in the tens place. And there is nothing in the ones place. We have a 0 there, so we're not going to add that on. Next, we have our area model question, 75 times 14. I decompose 75 into 75 and 14 into 10 and 4. Organized it on our area model, and now I'm finding the area of each of these rectangles. So we have 50, 10 times 5, 50, 4 times 5, 20, 10 times 70, 700, and 4 times 70, 280. And now we're adding up all these values, and we get 1050. Go ahead and give yourself a check if that's what you got, or make any revisions if you have to. Our next question, we have all these pounds of dog food and being separated into bags that hold 5 pounds each. We're dividing that. So we have 78 divided by 5. I know that when I have 7, I can only make one group of 5, so I subtract that. And we get remainder of 2, bring down the 8. We can only make 5 groups because 6 groups would give us too much, so we record the 5 groups up there. We subtract what we use, minus 25, and we get a remainder of 3. Those 3 pounds can't be put in a bag of food, so we're going to keep 15 bags. It's just our final answer. Go ahead and give yourself a check on that. Our next question is a fraction question. We're being asked where we're going to place 4, 6. I know that 4 out of 6 is more than a half because half of 6 is 3. So it has to be before 1 because it's a fraction less than 1. And I'm noticing that this B is after a half and A is before a half. So that would go somewhere, half would go somewhere over here between A and B. So 4, 6, because it's more than a half, is going to be B. C and D are more than 1. This fraction is not more than 1, so that would be incorrect. Let's move on to our next question. We have a line plot question over here. And the line plot question is asking us, what is the total length of all the pieces of string? So I know I have to write out how all the totals for each measurement. So 1/8 would be 1/8, 2/8, there's only one string there, so 2/8, 3/8 is one string. Oh, but what about 4/8? It has 2 pieces of string. So I'm going to put that together, and I'm going to add 8 out of 8. 7/8 is 2 times 7/8 plus 7/8. That's going to be equal to 14/8, and 1. How am I going to show that as a fraction? Oh, I can just rename it into 8 out of 8. So children, I have it all written out here, what we just discussed, so now we're going to add it all up. So I know that 8 plus 8 gives me 16, and then 4 plus 3 gives me 17, and then I have 3 over here, so I can just put all of that together. So I can add 17 plus 3, and that would give me 20. So I have 3 plus 7 is 20, plus 16, that's going to be 36 out of 8. Go ahead and record your answer. And finally, our final math review question is to name the type of angle. So I'm noticing that this already is much wider than a right angle. So that would mean this angle is obtuse. Here is our POD number 2 for the week. It says Andy measured the length of seeds from different plants. The length in inches of the seeds Andy measured are shown in the table. So we notice that there's all these measurements here. And part A says use the data to create a line plot. Okay, from our last POD, we know that a line plot looks like this. We have each X represents one of those seeds, and we have here our units, number of miles walked. So I know that for this problem, it's going to be something very similar. So I can use the last line plot as a model. Tomorrow, we're going to check back and see what you guys come up with. Good work!